Today's Advent calendar door opens on a remake of a classic Christmas movie starring Richard Attenborough, who steps into the red suit of Kris Kringle in Miracle on 34th Street. Now, that being said, the original is just as good, and I tend to watch one year and one the next year because I enjoy both of them just the same, and they're more or less the same movie, just kind of set in different eras. Kris Kringle is hired as Cole's department store Santa and charms everyone by insisting he's a real deal. But a rival department store plots to destroy the image of Santa and Cole's by framing Kris, branding him a violent crazy man. And Kris ends up in court fighting for his freedom, where faith, imagination and the spirit of Christmas eventually triumphs. But that's not the only challenge he has to contend with. He also has to help a skeptical mother and daughter believe in Santa and the Christmas spirit once again. Now, I absolutely love courtroom movies and I love Christmas movies, so this gives me the best of both worlds. I think it's just a really interesting concept, where we see a man who claims to be Santa trying to prove that he is Santa. There's one particular part in the movie where they bring a reindeer into the courtroom so Kris can make him fly and prove that he is Santa, and his response is golden. They only fly on Christmas Eve. Now, here's a fun fact. The department store in the original black and white version of A Miracle on 34th Street was Macy's, but in the remake, Macy's declined to be in the movie. So the fictional Kohl's was introduced, which I always thought was a real department store, but it isn't. One of my absolutely favourite scenes in this movie is where Kris talks to a little deaf girl using sign language. It's just a touching scene that I believe was not in the original black and white movie, and it's such a welcomed addition to this movie. It's heartfelt and warming. In my opinion, this movie is absolutely immaculate. It's beautifully shot and asks the viewer the question, do you believe in Santa? I feel there's always a part of me wondering if Kris, in this movie, is actually Santa, or just a nice old man who believes he is. We don't see him slipping down any chimneys or riding reindeer through the sky. There is no evidence to the viewer of this movie to suggest that Kris is a real deal. We just see him as this nice old man who brings so much joy to the children in the film, who can speak many different languages, who can sign language, who can do all these brilliant things, but we are never quite sure if he is Santa Claus. But of course we all know that he is. And that's because I believe this movie does not force a decision on us. The movie allows us to choose if we believe or not, and that's why I love this movie. And if you're interested, I have done a more in-depth review on A Miracle on 34th Street on my channel last year, and it's there if you want to go and watch it. Thanks very much for joining me today. Be sure to join me tomorrow as we crack open another door on the Advent calendar and see what festive gem is laying behind it.
Let's go.
He thinks you're Santa Claus.